On August 16, 1952, the small town of Ashley in Kansas vanished. The United States Geological Survey reported a 7.8 Richter scale earthquake. Further studies in the following months revealed that the epicenter of this remote disaster was directly beneath Ashley. When authorities arrived, they found a long and wide fissure in the earth, measuring nearly a kilometer long and half a kilometer wide. The depth was never determined, but visibly there appeared to be a fiery chasm, seemingly endless. Ashley, with its 379 inhabitants, was completely destroyed. On August 28th of the same year, the U.S. Geological Survey observatories warned of another earthquake. This time, measuring 8 on the Richter scale, it shook the state once more. Authorities were astonished to find that this new tremor had sealed the nearly kilometer-long, half-kilometer-wide fissure that had swallowed the town and its 679 inhabitants. Police reports claimed that before the initial earthquake on August 16th, exactly 10 days earlier, numerous 911 calls were made by Ashley residents to the neighboring town's police in X. Being such a tiny town, Ashley lacked its own police force. The first call was from a man who identified himself as Sino Hardware. He told the 911 dispatcher that he had seen a small black building in the sky at 6 a.m. the next day. As promised, a patrol from Ellis County Police was dispatched via the only road leading to Ashley. 40 minutes later, the confused officer called back to the station, reporting that he seemed to have gotten lost. Perplexed, he told the duty officer that despite driving towards Ashley, he somehow ended up back in Ellis. The sheriff decided to send another police patrol to Ashley, but this new officer called the station, saying that the only route to Ashley seemed to no longer work. After traveling it for a while, one ended up inexplicably back. Throughout that day, more than 30 calls to 911 were made from Ashley. Some people claimed that the hole in the sky not only existed, but was getting larger. The next morning, over 100 calls to 911 came from Ashley. The town, apparently called Los Rios, was in total darkness. It was as if the sun had never risen. One of the most surprising calls to 911 that day was from a tearful woman hysterically shouting that she heard her daughter apparently hearing her father's voice from the fields. The only problem with that was that the man had died 3 years ago in a car accident. More calls of strange nature occurred over the next 48 hours. Consequently, Sheriff Ace sent 7 patrols to the town of Los Rios, but none arrived. The sheriff contacted the town of Topeka, which had its own helicopter. However, despite sending the aircraft to investigate, it never saw Los Rios from the sky. It was as if the encounter did not exist, even though everyone obviously knew it was there. And not only that, the 911 calls continued. This time not only about the black hole in the sky, but also about orbs. One person described it as a kind of instant dawn. Moreover, in the cut of that black hole, which increasingly swallowed more of the sky, there was a kind of Arduino software or fire, as another farmer described it. One of the most enduring calls to 911 was from a school teacher named Lucas Maldonado. It was claimed that strange figures walked the streets of Ashley, and all 679 inhabitants of the town remained hidden in their homes. The worst call came from a hysterical woman who sobbed as she spoke. When the 911 operator managed to calm her down, she explained that it felt as if the dead had risen from their graves again, all severely burned. The woman was traumatized. She had lost her husband 10 years ago and claimed to see him, completely charred, screaming outside. However, she dared not go out, knowing from a neighbor's fate that those beings had sinister intentions. The call abruptly ended with the sound of breaking glass, leaving the woman in sheer terror and panic. Throughout August 15, 1952, over 700 calls were received at the police headquarters from Ashley. Unfortunately, no voices could be heard. Only muffled sounds were reported in numerous police reports. If one could decipher a century-old whisper, it would speak of those painted voices. On August 16, 1952, the first earthquake struck, swallowing the entire town. The tremor was felt far and wide, causing significant tremors, but nothing compared to the fate that befell Ashley, a town that ceased to exist. What happened? Why did it disappear? What led to the deaths of 679 people? No one knows. The government then and now treats the case as a great mystery of the 20th century.